Hi there. What time is it where you are? What time is it there?
It's 10:30 p.m.
Oh my gosh. What are you doing still up?
I came back from a movie, so
What movie did you see?
I saw Insidious.
Oh my gosh, that's the horror film, right? That's the scary one. Was
Yeah.
was that the one with the red door? The red door?
Yeah, Red Door.
Wow. What did you think about this one?
This was not that scary, and it was based on father and son relationship, how they bonded well. That was shown in this movie.
A father and son relationship?
Yes.
Ah. So what were your takeaways? What do you feel like, did it teach you anything? Did you learn anything, or were you impacted in any way from the movie?
Mm, I learned how there was this concept called astral projection in the movie. So I have never I've just read about it. This was the second time I'm seeing that in the movie. So, and that the father and the son and the grandfather, all the three generations had this superpower. So that is something that was astonishing, and it was very nice. Like, it was a curse and it was also nice at the same time that they were bonding through a thing which is very unusual.
So so you said they bonded through a curse of.
Yeah, it is a curse and it is also a boon at the same time. Like, generally, you see people passing a disease through a generation, but this was something magical. Like, diabetes is passed, or a disorder is passed, or something is passed. But this was something that they have in them. This was very different.
Interesting. So Nikita, you know, you said you don't have experience with astral projection.
No, no.
Are there any things like that you've ever learned about astral projection, or ever even wondered about astral projection?
I've only seen YouTube videos and this movie. That's it. The whole series. That's it.
Okay, okay. Could you ever imagine doing it? Would it ever be something that you would like to experience?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Why is that?
Why? It is something very magical, like traveling through a plane where people cannot see you and you can see what they are doing. So a lot of secrets come out in there. So I want to know what goes on beyond the doors, behind the
So
doors.
you want to know the secrets
Yeah,
behind the doors.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because I've heard people talk about things like astral projection. Some people call certain things like a library in another realm, almost like you've heard Akashic records, and there's so much knowledge and so much things that are beyond the veil, you know? So when it comes to these things, because it feels spiritual. Does it sound spiritual when you think of astral projection, or does it sound like something else?
It sounds spiritual because it involves spirits. Yeah, it is spiritual.
So if it is spiritual, then would that assume, or would that kind of imply that you have a spiritual body if you're projecting your astral, or you're projecting your body into the astral realm, that you have an astral body or a spiritual body? Like, what would you call that body?
Spiritual body, not astral body.
Okay, so it's a spiritual body. So what's different about the spiritual body that is different from the physical body, you'd say?
That is your actual spirit. Like, the physical body is something when I'm going out in the world, I will behave a certain way. I'll try to hide my parts and behave according to the people that are around me. But my spirit is something that I cannot like imitate or behave a certain way. It is just as how it is, natural,
Okay,
like my natural state.
so say that one more time. You said your spiritual body is just as it is.
Just as what it is, my natural state.
Your natural state. So there's no like other qualities to your spiritual body.
No, I
Mm,
don't think so.
okay, okay. So what would you imagine that you might do if you projected, your spiritual body? If you astral projected, like where would you go? What would you do? You know?
I will go to a forest where there are a lot of animals and try to protect them. Like take all the cows from the cities and put them in the forest.
That's very specific. It sounds like you've thought about this. What,
Yes.
what
I dream about
you
it.
dream about it even.
Yeah.
Take the
Yeah.
animals to the forest.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long has that been your dream?
It's always there on the back of my mind. It's always there. Because I don't believe that animals are worth being around us. Like, they are so lovable and every other person is just abusing them. I can't see them. I can't see the pain that they go through.
Wow, because there's a lot of times that I've seen you, and you love dogs, right?
I love dogs, I love cats, but I'm not able to befriend
Well,
cats.
well,
It's very tricky.
yeah, because I've seen you around dogs, and I've seen the love that you give dogs, and the dogs that give you love, and you're just petting them, and they're just loving you, and they really enjoy being around your energy, the dogs. So why do you feel like dogs are not supposed to be around us, or we're not supposed to be around them? Like, how do you feel when it comes to animals?
I feel dogs are not supposed to, like, they don't deserve humans. At least, like, dogs, at least they are petted and they are fed, like, nicely. But the cows, they are abused like hell. They go through hell. So I also pet cows, but I can't hold a camera and pet them at the same time because they are huge. They are huge in size. So that hasn't been possible. I'm a bit scared when it comes to cows. So I'm trying to befriend them as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting because, one of the things that struck me when you know, I don't see a lot of cows up close either, but when I've seen videos of these animals, these cows, and even when I've had dogs in the past, you look at their eyes, and
Yes.
it's like you can see your eyes in their eyes, you know? It's like they have eyes like we have eyes, right? So it would think that they have emotions like we have emotions. They feel like we can feel, you know?
Yeah. Like there's this one dog in my street. Like I feed him very occasionally, but whenever he sees me in the night alone, like I've shifted my home from that street to a different street now. So whenever he sees me crossing or passing by, he'll make sure that I'm very well guarded, and then he'll leave me to my place, and then he'll get back to that street where I stayed previously. So he has a kind of personality where he's very possessive. He'll bark at other dogs. He won't let other dogs come in the way. So yeah, he has this personality to him, and he's very loving at the same time. Yeah, every dog has a different personality. Whenever I'm feeding them, I come to know, okay, this is the personality that this dog has, and this is the personality that this dog has. He doesn't like my touch that much. He enjoys cuddling much. He enjoys just the finger touch, or he enjoys just me petting his ears. I can feel that.
You can feel it. Have you always been so sensitive to animals, because some people aren't as sensitive. Some people are more sensitive to people and less to animals. Some people are more sensitive to animals and less to people. But have you always had that level of empathy and sensitivity when it comes to animals?
I have always been sensitive to both people and animals. I have the same level of empathy for both of them. But yeah, when it comes to animals, the love is reciprocated equally. So I feel I can give my love to them. But when it comes to humans, it's not the same way.
Why, why do you feel that it's not the same?
um even yesterday, just like my brother and me, like we were sitting next to each other, and I am a person, I have like, I will tell, if I love somebody, I'll tell them I love you like hundreds of times in a day. Like I'll keep telling you whenever I see you, I love you, I love you, I love you. This is what I do throughout the day. So I keep doing that, and he was on his phone. He's doom scrolling videos after videos. So I this is the time that he didn't reciprocate it back, or he didn't even look at me. So it did hurt me a little bit, and he does it all the time. So he disrespected me a bit. So it got to me like, okay, I should stop doing this now because I don't get it back. Maybe I shouldn't be so loving because it hurts me a lot when it doesn't come back to me, or even I don't want it back, but at least it should be in a way where he looks at me or smiles at me. But he just crashed my hand like that, so it was very disheartening. So I cried a bit, and then I just made myself calm, and I was like, okay, this happens. Yeah.
So do you feel like you took it personally, or were you able to, after you cried, after you released, did you not take it personally? Did you let it go, or did you still hold on to that?
No, I can't hold on to it. I'll say I love you again the next day. It's just the way I am. I can't change myself. I can't do that.
I want to ask you, Nikita, because there's a lot of ideas when it comes to forgiveness. And some people say that there's no such thing as being able to forgive without forgetting. Some people say you have to forgive and forget. Other people might say you can forgive but not forget, that you'll always remember even if you forgave. Is there a difference? Like, can there be true forgiveness without forgetting? Like you said, you just kind of let it go and you say I love you the next day. Where do you feel?
I believe that if you have to like continue being with them, like continue to have the same sort of relationship with them, you have to go with the concept of forgive and forget. If you think that you shouldn't be continuing with them, they are just very toxic to you. So it's just forgive and not forget.
Okay, so you said the best is to forgive and forget, unless unless
Unless they are toxic.
we know about this. Okay, we know about this one. So that was actually a topic that I didn't even think I was going to talk about, but somebody came to me asking me that, and they came me asking me, had I ever been in a relationship like that? And I don't know if ever in the future, because you've talked about relationships with your family, but I don't know that if you've ever talked about the relationship you've been in. Do you think in the future you might talk about that?
I talk about that all the time because I have to, the other person, if I'm planning something or even if it's a friendship, they should know what I'm going through. Otherwise, we cannot be long term together. So I have to tell them. So everybody, yeah, they know what I've been through. Some people they don't want to be with them, but that's okay. That's their decision. But yeah, whenever I tell what I've been through, a lot of people have just walked away from my life.
Okay. But do you feel it's better that way, even if you're expressing what
It's very, it's actually better that way, no? Because yeah, they don't have the same values as me. So instead of wasting my time, my energy, and then coming to a point where we depart, It's better we depart from the very first day. My time is not wasted, my energy is not wasted. So I would appreciate that.
Wow. So okay, so the initial separation comes with appreciation. You're able to appreciate like them over there.
Yeah. The person is very clear that he doesn't want them to be in my life, and I am also very clear, okay. Also, there is no attachment in the initial stages. So it's very easy. After that, it becomes a bit difficult. Like that goodbye becomes very difficult because there is a kind of attachment you have with that other person. So it is a very heavy heart that you have when you depart or you decide that you have to leave them.
Oh, you're a poet, Nikita. You're a poet. You're a poet. It's a very heavy heart that you have when you depart. I love it.
Oh,
I
sorry.
love what you did there. I see what you did there, Nikita.
You brought out that I didn't notice
You'll
that.
you'll see it. You'll see it. So when you have that heavy heart when it departs, what do you feel like past the initial stages? What is the stage where detachment becomes difficult, where it's challenging to remain detached? What is that stage for you?
It depends from person to person. For me, I get attached very easily. So I'm very like reading red flags is very important for me. In the initial stages, like after two meets, I'll know that this person has red flags and I'm not supposed to be with them.
What,
Or this person is trying to manipulate me or gaslight me
hmm,
or trying to do something. I'll know. In the first two meetings, I'll definitely know.
what's an
So I know that I will be involved with them, but I will not attach myself.
right? So what's an example of something that you caught on one of your meetings that you said, okay, no, I can no longer continue. This is a red flag. What's an example of a red flag you remember?
Okay. So I've been on a day. I've been on a date. I don't know if the person is watching this. I've been on a date. What happened was, why do you love? Why do you want to dance? You shouldn't be dancing. You should do. I think you should do martial arts. It's a red flag. The person is trying to change me. I don't like that.
Okay, so when they suggested martial arts and they were trying to put you down for dancing, you were like,
Yeah.
there's no more romance,
No.
no more
No.
dancing. They don't
No.
want you dancing.
No.
Okay, okay, right. That makes sense. That you're like, no, this is what I love. This is what I enjoy. Who are you to tell me different? I see what you mean.
Yeah, because I've done that. I have been in a relationship where I've continuously tried to change myself for a person, and that didn't work out. It never works out because they are not happy. They are not happy. No matter what you do for them, they'll never be happy. But if it's the right person, they'll appreciate even the slightest amount of effort that you do for them.
Is there a word? I think I've heard of a word to describe like when you say that it's never enough, like they'll never be happy. Is that what you call narcissism, or what do you call that?
I don't know, but it is a narcissistic quality. Yeah.
That
I don't know the word actually.
that there's never a satisfaction, that it's never a happiness, no matter what.
Because they themselves are not satisfied with them. They themselves are not satisfied with what they are. How will they be satisfied with what we are?
That's profound. So, would you say, Nikita, that your ability to be satisfied, to be content with who you are, it allows you to do the same for others?
Yes. I am kind to myself, I am gentle to myself. That's how I'm able to be kind to others and gentle to others.
Okay, so it starts with us first. So circling back, when you know, when you were talking about the animals, being kind to yourself and gentle to yourself, we see that energy reflected in the way that you take care of animals, the way that you are loving to animals. If you were to astral project, like you said in your dream, and gather the animals up and take them to the forest, what do you feel would happen?
I feel they'll be happy and they'll do whatever they want and they'll be free, which is what I want for myself. They'll be free to do whatever they want. They'll be not be exploited or used by humans.
Okay, so even a form of companionship, you would say, is a form of exploitation?
No, companionship can never be exploitation. Oh my god. Shit.
So if you know, like there's sayings, we have sayings all the time, you know, like for instance for dogs. You've heard the saying that dog is man's best friend, right?
Yeah.
So dog is man's best friend, and there's even been sayings like, you know, dogs make us human. I've heard this too, because some person can, you know, they can cut off people on the street, cut off people on the highway, they can curse at people and yell angry obscenities at people, but then that same person will go home to their dog and be like, oh, you know, here boy, I love you. You know, they'll be whispering sweet nothings to their dog or to their cat at, you know, at home. So they say dogs make us human because, you know, they don't hold grudges, they just give love, they're not taking anything it just falls away, right? But when you say that it's exploitation, would you link that as well to that companionship?
Exploitation. Um, I don't know, but like I have never had pet dogs. Like I don't believe in the idea that bringing dogs home and keeping them with you is the right idea, because dogs are animals and animals are supposed to be out in the nature. Humans are also supposed to be out in the nature, but we are not. That's a different thing. But animals are not supposed to be kept in a cage or in a house. So I don't resonate with that idea, even if it's like bringing them to your house or even taking care of them. If you want to take care of them, you have to go to the road where they are suffering and just take care of them there, and that's it. That's how I do it. I will not bring them home or keep them with me, or no, I don't believe in that idea.
This is so interesting, Nikita, and thank you for thank you for this level of honesty. Thank you for expressing yourself in this way, because you're really bringing a lot of things to my mind about this. You know, when you said that animals are supposed to be out in the nature and people as well are supposed to be out in the nature, you remind me, because someone once said, you know, you ever heard jokes like people would say like, why did the deer cross the road? Right?
No, I haven't heard.
There was
No.
this joke. Somebody was like, why did the deer cross the road? And they have all sorts of jokes about why the deer or why the chicken or why something crossed the road, right? And one person said, what if the deer wasn't crossing the road? What if the road was crossing the forest?
Oh shit.
Did you get that?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like the deer is actually not crossing the road. The deer is in the forest. The road is crossing the forest, because the road is unnatural. The road is like manufactured and paved, and like it's making way for automobiles, you know? But the deer is in nature. The deer is just being a deer. It's not it's not like getting in the way of us. We're trying to swerve away from the deer and yelling at the deer and thinking that the deer is wrong for crossing the road, but the road is crossing the forest, you know? So someone once told me that, I don't know how true this is. You can tell me because you know about dogs. But there are so many different kinds of dogs, so many different breeds of dogs, right? So many different mixtures of dogs that wouldn't ever even be possible without humans. Like if humans didn't take dogs and put these different dogs together and put those different dogs together and put those different dogs together, we wouldn't have all these dogs, like all these different kinds of dogs. And they said that if you were able to snap your fingers and remove humans, like all the humans are gone. Just imagine all humans vanish, gone. And only dogs remain. They say that all these dogs, these different kinds of dogs, they wouldn't survive without humans to take, like, you know, those little teacup dogs that people carry in their purses. You've seen ladies carry their purses, or dogs in the backpack. People carry their dogs. People push dogs in strollers. People carry dogs in purses. All those little dogs without humans, what would happen to those dogs? I don't know if they would they be here?
No. That is what is called breeding. Like they selectively get dogs together and make them breed to make particular type of certain looking dog that it is pleasing to their eyes, so that they can keep them in their purses and whatever it is. So, and I don't think that dogs will breed, like different varieties of dogs will also breed together. If they are like naturally left, they won't breed together. Like they have their own taste, just like humans do. They have their own taste. So they will be selective in breeding also, like coming together.
Okay, so it would be a natural selection.
Yeah, yeah.
So you could almost say that the wolf, you know, whatever the dog family, whatever the lineage goes down to, like if it started from the wolf or if it started from wherever it started, it would almost seem like it would go back to where it started if there were no humans. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Because it would be like every dog for themselves.
totally.
So it's a very interesting conversation, because I remember the other day I was walking and somebody was driving their truck. There was a white truck, and I was just walking and in my neighborhood, and this guy pulled up, Nikita, and he downed his window and he said, hey, you seen a pit bull and a German Shepherd out here? And I was like, what? He was like, have you seen a pit bull and a German Shepherd? Like, you know, mine got free. And I was like, what? And he said, yeah, mine got free. I was like, no, I haven't seen them. And he said, oh, okay, thank you. And he pulled off, right? He drove away looking for his dogs. But he said, and I never forgot what he said. He said, mine got free. Right? You got that? You got that? Did you catch that? So I was like, the whole day I was thinking about that. It was like a mantra in my mind going over and over. Mine got free. Mine got free. And I was thinking to myself, what was the difference between, you know, like they say that if an animal had the choice, would they choose a life of captivity? You know,
Never.
like you said, to be in a cage, or to be in a fence, or to be in a yard, or to be in an area where they can't be free. Would they choose that if they had the choice? Would they choose a life?
Nobody, even I wouldn't choose that for myself. Nobody likes being captive.
And even when we say that nobody likes being captive, you know that you've heard the thing called learned helplessness, right? Learned helplessness?
Kind of.
No? Okay. So real short. Just imagine like four dogs in a kennel, right? And they're in this space in a cage, and somebody takes a shocking rod or a shocking prod, and every time like the dog tries to get out the cage, they are shocked, and
Oh.
and they're whimpering, they're crying, and then at a certain point they don't even try to get out of the cage anymore. And then after that, the person lifts the cage off and there's no cage, right? So all the dog would have to do is simply step out of the box. There's no longer any boundaries, but they have been shocked so many times and prodded so many times and helpless so many times that they no longer try to get out of the area. They just stay there, you know? And then if another dog comes in, they teach that dog to just stay there or something. So it's like a learned helplessness, you know? Like you don't even try anymore after you've been cut off so many times. Almost like the elephant with the stump, or the elephant in the circus that's been trained from a baby elephant to be tied to this stump. Now it's a big elephant. It could rip this stump out of the ground anytime it wants to, but it doesn't, because it's a learned helplessness.
It's just like how an animal forgets how to be an animal. Like how an elephant forgets that it is an elephant. Also, how in a toxic relationship you forget that you are a whole person.
Mm-hmm. Talk about it, you know? You forget you're a whole person. I mean, when you say that you forget you're a whole person, like who do you think you are in a toxic relationship? If you forgot that, who do you become?
What do you become? What they say, what they think they want you to become, you become that. Continuously telling you to dress a certain way, continuously telling you to do things that they want us to do, continuously telling us to study things that they want themselves to study, but they aren't able to achieve it.
So it's almost like a feeling that you don't have your independence. You don't have your own identity.
Gone. Erased.
Wow. So how were you able to reclaim that for yourself? How were you able to find your way out, you know?
Find my way out. First, I had to say no, that I'm not going to tolerate all this. This is not going to be me. After that, I try to do things which I wasn't able to do as a kid and I was stopped. So now even when my parents, they tell me that you are supposed to do this or you're supposed to do that, I have my own voice where I'm like, you told me to do things and I did things your way, but it didn't work out for me. So now I will do things my way. And that's how it's supposed to going to be. So you have to deal with it now.
How do you feel they received that decision that you made to do things your way? How do you feel that was received?
They were shocked because they didn't see this side of me. They have never seen this side of me. They have never seen this side of me. I never had a voice actually, to be honest with. I never. I've always been this person where whatever my father tells me to do, I'll do it very politely. I'll do what my ex told me to do very politely. I'll do things, whatever I've been guided to do, I'll do things that way. Because that's how you believe you'll have a nice life because your parents have a good life. You'll have a nice life if you walk the same path that they have walked in. But the generation gap is not how it is supposed to be. Like my father was a gentleman or he was a nice person, but the men these days are not the same way. They are very different from what my father is. So I cannot deal deal with them the same way how my mother deals with my father. I should have a different approach.
That's very insightful, Nikita, because, when you say that they were shocked, you know, that you made a decision, you made a commitment to you, to yourself, and they were shocked. They had never seen that side of you. Had you seen that side of you?
No, no. I never thought I would be out of that relationship, to be honest. I never thought. But the other person pressed all my buttons to a level where there was nothing left out of me. There was nothing left. It's either I die or either I choose something for myself. That was the only thing that was left. Because I was okay with the abuse. The abuse was okay to me. Even if he beats the hell out of me, I was okay with it. If he manipulates me, I was okay with it. If he gaslights me, I was okay with it. It's only when he cheated on me, that's when I broke. Okay. So I was not in a position where I could do anything, but I was like, if he's cheating now, there's no way that this person can be like saved or anything like that, and then I have to like stand for myself.
How did you feel when you finally stood for yourself? You know, do you remember the feeling that you had?
I felt like I was this worst person. Like I got into a place where I used cuss words which I had never used in my life. I took out all the cuss words that I could that very day and told him that this is not the way how it works. I did everything for you. I I gave all my money, I gave everything, every ounce of energy that my body had to you. We started a business together which he's running still now. It was like I gave everything to this person, but his cup was always empty. No matter what I put in it, it's never like, it's always less. But then when I took a stand and he was like, okay, what can we do now? It's okay. If you want to go, you can go. I was like, I am feeling so much, and this person is not even feeling that I'm leaving him. So, what is the point? Like, why did I even waste so much of my energy on him? It was pointless. That's when I realized, when we had that conversation, I realized that there's nothing left now.
And if you felt that, that energy, those resources, that time was wasted, what do you feel like you got back when you
I
finally
got
go ahead?
I have my own voice. I have my own voice. I'm able to stand myself. I'm more conscious now. I can smell bullshit. I can spot red flags like any other person. Like, it's just like, okay, 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 we are not supposed to be here. That's it.
So you're more
It taught
keen.
me a lot. It taught me a lot, a lot. No book could ever teach me. No book could ever teach me. He taught me self love. I will always be grateful for that.
Taught you self-love.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. So nothing can substitute for firsthand experience.
No. I know today I'm laughing about it, but 3 years back this was not the case.
You're so strong. You're so strong, Nikita. You're such a strong woman. Like, I commend you for being able to laugh about it, for being able to talk about it, for being able to share, and that lesson of self-love that you learned. and that gratitude that you now have going through that experience, like, thank you, thank you for this testimony, because I know that you're not alone, and it's like people, there are people that are still in those relationships as we speak, and they don't know how to get out, they don't know, they, like you said, you never imagined, right, that you'd be free of that. You'd never imagined that you'd be where you are right now, and yet here you are right now,
Because you think that there is only this person that can love me. You have very low self-esteem basically when you're going through that toxic relationship. So that's the reason you're there in it.
So now you have, your senses are more keen to detect the BS. You said you can detect BS from a mile away now. You can pick it up. You can see the red flags. You no longer have the those rose-colored glasses, right? You no longer have the rose-colored glasses where you can't see the red flags. You see that they're there, and you can detect them before they happen. And now it saves you more time, right? It saves you more energy. It saves you more moments that you can give yourself that love if someone else is not reciprocal, if you don't feel that energy is coming back your way.
Definitely.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. It's amazing just to think about, who would we be today if it hadn't been for the experiences that we go through and that we grow through, Yeah. Do you feel like, last thing I want to ask you, Nikita, because I love the way that you answer questions. You're just so insightful. Do you feel you can go through something and not grow through something? Like is growth different from just going through something? Can you be going through something and not be growing through something?
That can't happen. If you go through something, you will definitely grow through it. That is for sure.
Okay. So not only did you go through that, you grew from it as well. There's no separation. You're saying there's no separation.
No.
Wow. Thank you. Dhanyavad. Thank you for just coming on here. We had questions for you earlier, or maybe somebody, oh no, they were just pointing out some things you were talking about the animals. Real quick, let me share them with you real quick before we go. Nabiha said, I feel for the cows too, because you were talking about the cows. I feel for the cows. I always say that when I create the community I have in mind, cows will be loving their best life or living their best life on the land. It makes me sick to think about how they are treated, crying as I'm writing this because humans are evil towards animals. Wow. So she was actually shedding tears while she was typing this in the chat, based on what you were saying about the animals. She was expressing that, about how the animals are treated here. Then we have love, love, love. People are just showing love. So many people. Yeah, Nikita for life. Shout out. Shout out. Power to you constantly. Blessings. Komal in here. Naidu, Kushal, and Komal. So thank you everyone for joining. This was really just an impromptu conversation, that I didn't even know I was going to click the button, but then I pushed the button and you pushed the button and, we just start talking. It always happens that way. So yeah, Nikita, anything else before we go? Anything else? And just thank you once again, just for all that you shared.
Just one message: if you are in a toxic relationship, please run. Run for your life.
Because your life matters, because you are worth it. You're worth it. You're worth more. Yeah.
Also, thank you for always, inspiring me to read books and going back to the going back to how I was exactly in my childhood and bringing out that in me. Thank you so much. I'll always be grateful to you. Always. You are always on the back of my mind, no matter what I do.
Thank you. We're still, we learn from each other. We learn from each other, and I'm glad that I can be a part of your journey as well as you are a part of my journey. You know, I'm glad. I'm glad. So that makes me. It feels good to hear. Feels good to hear. So let's keep going. Let's keep growing.
Always.
Always, always. All right, Nikita. Take care.
Good night. Good morning to you.